Hey, Manna Church, I want to welcome you wherever you're watching along the military highway. It is such a pleasure to be with you here as we intentionally walk through Passion Week together. My name is Chris Shinnick. I have the privilege of being the lead pastor here at Manna Church, West Florida, and it is such an honor, again, to be a part of this family. Today, as you may or may not know, is Maundy Thursday, and maybe you didn't grow up with that term when it came to the Thursday preceding Easter, but Maundy is just a Latin term that means commandment, and typically what we think of on Maundy Thursday is Jesus celebrating the Last Supper with his disciples, in many ways inaugurating what we now know as communion, and of course Jesus washing the feet of the disciples, giving them that final new commandment to love each other as he had shown love to them, and really more specifically as he was about to show love for them on the cross. I want to focus in on a specific conversation that took place on the Last Supper between Jesus and perhaps the most entertaining of all disciples, Peter. As you may or may not know, again, Peter was typically the leader amongst the disciples, probably the oldest of the disciples. He was usually the first to speak. Didn't always say the right thing, but he was usually the first to speak. He was typically the first to act. The only human besides Jesus to ever walk on water. So you give him some points there for his courage. And it's this final conversation that we can learn so much about what Passion Week is really about between Jesus and Peter that I want to focus on. It's in all four Gospels, recorded in a similar way. I want to highlight specifically the passage in John chapter 13, starting in verse 36. Simon Peter said to Jesus, and again, Jesus has been telling them where this train was going for quite some time. But then here's Peter letting Jesus know his thoughts. Peter says, "Lord, where are you going?" I mean, just really, is this really the moment? Are you really gonna leave us? No, you can't. You can't be heading where you've been telling us you've been heading. And I can just imagine Jesus looking back at Peter saying, "Peter, we've been talking about this for about 3 years now. I'm going to fulfill Genesis 3:15 once and for all. That a child of Eve would eventually crush the head of Satan, ultimately releasing an army of snake head crushers to come." But of course, Peter doesn't get it. So Jesus answered him, where I am going, you cannot follow me now, but you will follow afterward. I just want to break that down for a sentence. You cannot follow me now, comma, but you will follow afterward. Therein lies the secret, in my opinion, of Passion Week. Peter, until I go do what I've got to do, which is the comma, you can't really follow me the way you're designed to follow me. You cannot follow me now, comma, which is the cross, but you will, because of what I'm about to do at the cross. You will follow me afterward. And Peter said to him, "Lord, why can't I not follow you now?" Well, why can't I follow you now? That's the point, Peter. You don't have what it takes to follow me now. I need to do something for you before you can follow me now. I will, then Peter says this, and you know this great passion of Peter, he thinks, "I will lay down my life for you." Jesus answered, "Will you lay down your life for me?" Peter, don't get this backwards now. Wait until I go do what I've got to do, then you'll be able to follow me. Truly, truly, I say to you, the rooster will not crow until you have denied me 3 times. There's that rooster imagery. And of course, this lesson is to drill it home into one of the strongest apostles to come after this moment in Peter. But it's also for us to learn from. And here's what I want to tell you, church. I just got one idea for you today. Stop telling Jesus what you're going to do for him. And start living your life in response to what he's already done for you. See, don't mistake what Passion Week is all about. See, Passion Week isn't about you and I trying to follow Jesus. No, no, no. It's about Jesus dying and then you and I relying on what the cross of Jesus is supplying so that we can actually follow him and change the world. It's a big difference. And as you know the story, I mean, Peter from here on out, it goes from bad to worse. He follows Jesus to the Garden of Gethsemane. Jesus asks him to stay awake just for an hour and pray. He falls asleep not once, not twice, but 3 times. Then Jesus is arrested, and Peter thinks, this is my moment to courageously defend Jesus. And he takes out the sword and he slashes the ear off. No, he's rebuked by Jesus. Peter, you're not getting it. And then he follows Jesus as he's arrested. And the scripture literally says he follows him at a distance. And you know what? Without the cross, that's the best we can do, is follow Jesus at a distance. We need the power of the cross to give us any chance to follow Jesus. And it's there in the courtyard. He's warming himself at a stranger's fire. And Jesus is in the room being accused and being mocked and being ridiculed. And Peter's a courtyard away outside past the fence. And Jesus is inside. And they're asking Peter, they're drilling him. Do you know him? No. Do you know him? No. I think I've seen you with him. I don't know the guy. And the Gospel of Luke is so unique. The Gospel of Luke has Peter literally look and see Jesus inside. And then it has Jesus look and make eye contact with Peter as he's denied him a 3rd time. And then guess what? The rooster crows. And in that moment, while making eye contact with Jesus, Peter knows, I can't do this. And that's the point, Peter. No matter how hard you try, until I go to the cross, you're not going to have a chance to do this. And it was a rough Maundy Thursday evening for Peter. It says he wept bitterly, which is a sign, actually a beautiful sign of conviction. And how do I know it's conviction? I believe it's conviction because here's what conviction does. Conviction draws us back to God. Condemnation sends us away from God. Conviction draws us back to God. And it was a rough Thursday, and it was a rough Friday. And we have no record of what Peter did on Saturday, but we do know on Sunday, when Peter got word that the tomb was empty, he was one of the first to go see for himself. And then that incredible exchange between Jesus and Peter where Jesus shows up, the resurrected Christ shows up, and Peter's fishing, and he recognizes Jesus, and he literally jumps. I believe he tried to run on the water because he'd done it before, and he swims up to the shore, and there's another fire there, and it's at that fire that Jesus and Peter get this thing right. See, now the cross had taken place, Peter, and now everything you need to follow me is available. Now your passion for me can be fueled by my passion for you. And you can truly follow me the way you were designed to follow me. See, church, let's get this right. Let's get this right. Stop making this all about us trying to follow Jesus. Start making Passion Week about Jesus' passion for us. And now rely on that strength that he gives us, that forgiveness, that sacrifice, and let that fuel you into following Jesus like never before. Peter went on to probably hear multiple rooster crows for the rest of his life, but it didn't lead to condemnation. It led to a healthy conviction, reminding him that on his own, he couldn't follow Jesus on his own, but with Jesus, because of the cross of Jesus, he would follow Jesus with more passion than ever before. God bless you guys. Have an incredible Easter weekend.